get influenced, right? Such as YB Game, Papara, Supermassive, and so on and so forth. So honestly, oh my goodness, and Bigatron. Okay, yes.
That's exactly it, man. They have good potential for sure, but now look at Brusco here trying to abuse the early game along with Super Prince. Paquito, barely makes it out.
Okay. Whoa. That is close. This guy is living on the edge, taking too long before actually going for the flicker. But I like it. I like the fact that he's just kind of like extending himself as much as he can. But with that said, Brusco, first person taken down. ONIC PH giving first blood over to Influence Rage, and now King Kong in his own jungle being completely harassed by monsters, Paquito, and followed by Chan, perhaps?
Brusco is back though, going with Kirk, trying to get Chan out of the picture here. Too much damage, man. ONIC PH with the Loi and Cho, they're trying to abuse it so much, but Influence Rage are just very happy and willing to go for it. But King Kong,
no. Okay, King Kong still stays alive. He's gonna be A-okay. Almost there, but Paquito, he's looking for the opportunity to go on to King Kong, but he doesn't have another spin. As such, Paquito, he goes down over to King Kong. King Kong literally met the Grim Reaper like twice.
Just exchange a friendly greeting with the Grim Reaper and says, "Not today, man." So much calculation, so many moments right here where the players survive with a sliver of HP and all the action is on the top side. In the gold lane, actually, I think Kelra is doing a great job here, but Fury also understanding the matchup, just not willing to push out the lane so far, and this turtle take by ONIC is really fast, but is it too fast?
Maybe it is, as King Kong will be able to take the turtle down, but in the meantime, we do have Chan immediately popping out with the fact that Airstrike pushes the rest of ONIC PH away. But that's not all though. Monsters tries to go into the brushes, hoping they will be able to do something, but unfortunately Kirk is going to be the one taken down. But unfortunately that's a 1-for-1 trade between the EXP laner and between the two EXP laners in fact. But in fact, Chan himself goes down too, so ONIC PH takes the win.
Man, it's looking kind of okay for Influence Rage, kind of even. Then Kelra shows up, man. That's the power of the Irrital, kind of. You can see that Fury can't really dominate the lane the same way a Granger usually does. And that allows Kelra to just go all over the place. And look at this, Paquito!
Almost going down, but he still have the quick send, got to keep himself in the game and in the fight. Brusco! Flicker with a dragon. Nice shot.
Brusco on the Cho there, but he might pay the price for it. Monster smashes him down, gets a shutdown on the Roamer. But look at Chan, also getting run down by Super Prince.
Yo, guys, stop! This ain't brawl! Stop!
I mean, we thought that Influence Rage are gonna be the ones forcing all these fights, but ONIC PH seems more overzealous than ever right here, and they do have the tools to back it up. But man, it's looking tough for Influence Rage, and this is before ONIC PH has even started to abuse the diversions. This is just them using the early game aggression and rotating efficiently.
Oh boy. Now, of course, we are only 4 minutes in, and I believe that this aggressiveness from the side of Influence Rage is actually pretty darn annoying for ONIC PH to kind of deal with. Yorun currently do have the orange buff on himself. I would like to believe that that was his own one, because actually, from what I remember, Yorun actually had an orange buff for a lot longer. So I actually would like to believe that he stole it. But anyways, hold on a second. Paquito finds himself knocked back from the side of Brusco that is losing the Roamer before the turtle fight.
Oh, that's a weird diversion play, but that's Monsters getting chopped down. Jotun going in and actually not getting the steal there. King Kong too clean with it. Suyo too strong with the secure. And man, Influence Rage getting forced into these weird scenarios.
Oh man, this is tough. Now that we are looking at two turtles that's taken down by the side of ONIC PH, despite having a first blood retrieved from Influence Rage. They're definitely happy at a point in time, but unfortunately, like you said, a little bit overzealous, but not only from ONIC PH, but it's Influence Rage themselves. We've got ONIC PH 5 members that managed to push themselves down to the southern part of the map, and in fact, looking for a little bit of diversion right onto Monsters as King Kong goes for the stun immediately right onto Monsters, brings him down convincingly, while all the way down the bottom, Fury takes the kill, down on the Kelra. Doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, he better go back home, man.
Ooh, look at that respect, the
Oh, the
fury.
flicker.
He sees Brusco going in. He knows the flicker is available. Instantly flickers out, man. That is the respect you gotta give to a player like Brusco. Brusco, some would call him. But man, he has been clean all this time, finding all these pickoffs. Even though in theory, Influence Rage has so much sustainability, it should not be easy. But with when and where Brusco is finding these kicks, it's just so good right now. Super Prince gonna turn it around.
No, almost, eh? Monster's not gonna be taken down that easily, though, so he's gonna be A-okay at least for now, I gotta have to say. But regardless, I will say that in 6 minutes in with about like 14 kills, this is kind of crazy if you ask me. With 3,000 gold lead, ONIC PH, they still have a lot of chances and they still have a lot of opportunities to actually go right in with all of the targets still available. ONIC PH actually is not doing that much macro game. In fact, they are doing a lot of micro.
Well, you say that, right? But they're also all ahead in the rotations again and again. And look at this though, Hera getting jumped on, but the team is there.
Oh, Fury, the first person to be taken down. Monsters joined into the fray, but unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to do anything realistically. ONIC PH now moves themselves back. Now that there's no gold laner for the side of Influence Rage, ONIC PH will take this turtle with no problems whatsoever.
Hito's trying to find some information, maybe allow Jota to go in. Too early though.
Oh, and that is going to be the Reggie Sandstorm that's going to be connected. King Kong actually goes down. Super Prince brings out Paquito. Brusco though, he still got the turtle away from the side of Influence Rage. It's really unfortunate. Jordan the next one down on the chopping block by Fury as well. Super Prince even flickers for a good measure.
The flanking diversion solo by Super Prince came out of nowhere, man. I think Brusco actually got the turtle for ONIC PH right there. And it's not over! Super Prince once again gets jumped on by monsters, but Kirk is in the picture.
Yep, Kirk as well as Super Prince, they push themselves down to the bottom lane, at least to kind of put a bit more pressure down to the bottom. There is still some time before the Lord eventually spawns up to the top lane. In fact, 80 seconds until then. And I believe that normally once the first Lord comes out, we will start to expect to see a little bit more macro game plus snowball action. In fact, if you take a look at the item build as well as the gold, you can very convincingly see that Sinjo does have quite a lot of gold lead on top of Jordan by Kiara. Not a lot of HP to work with, but Jordan did not have the opportunity to kill.
Speaking of the gold difference, man, the highest gold disparity is in the roaming position. Brusco has 7 kills out of the 14 of ONIC PH. This man is a monster. And he's freezing the top side now. Peter's trying to break it, but Brusco just stands there.
Why does he even have 7? 7-2-4. This guy is no longer, man, at this point he's Natalia, but 2-man Raging Sandstorm, or was it 1? But at least that didn't do anything for ONIC PH. Kirk pushes 3 members away, while Jordan jumps himself over to Super Prince, doesn't have enough damage to do anything, but King Kong immediately jumps himself forward, but Kiara is just going to be cutting the lanes a little bit and won't be able to get a kill down the Fury. Perhaps the next one is Paquito is going to be the next one onto the chopping block. ONIC PH takes 4 men down, while ONIC PH themselves only lost King Kong.
That's what we're talking about. It's not just the macro, it's not just the creative uses of this diversions. Look at these team fights, man. The fact that they're able to force Influence Rage to use everything, and the moment they communicated that that was the case, immediately Kirk goes in for the Avatar of the Guardian. Immediately Kelra goes for the dive and deletes Fury. Influence Rage are powerless to kind of shape up and have a formation against ONIC PH. Every single time they kind of group up and set up for a fight, they have no idea where the players of ONIC PH are gonna come from.
And now, to make things kind of worse, I will say, ONIC PH has got such a good map control and even have got that small little pixel brush control. At least Paquito did manage to push Brusco away, and at that point in time, ONIC PH is not available to immediately take out Paquito, because let's be honest, if ONIC PH were anywhere closer to that pixel brush, I'm pretty sure that Paquito would have been dead.
Well, King Kong is showing on the bottom side. He had to clear the wave, man. It was a huge wave building up for Influence Rage. But Influence Rage, again, without a signature, big, reliable engage, they can't do anything. Even though they saw the opportunity 5v4 without King Kong, there's nothing they could do. No one can start the fight for them.
It's rough, who can even start a fight aside from Paquito? I can only imagine the Raging Sandstorm. And monsters would definitely come in more as a straggler and just kind of go for bruising. But here we go, Brusco indeed. Paquito knocked in and taken down. Well, in the meantime, Chan hides himself in a small little brush to go for the defensive airstrike. But the main fight is all onto Yodun. Goes in for the Rhythm of Joy, but that didn't do anything at all. Kirk joins in with the Avatar of the God, and Chan is forced to use the Purify. And a little bit of a Recall City going on. While Super Friends, he went in for the Divergent, but wasn't enough to get down the kill down on the Chan. Fury wants to go for a little bit more, a little bit greedy. In fact, goes for the Flicker. Fury, not like this. As now, King Kong with a Soul Staff takes him down with no problem.
It would have been such a great kill to pick up there. The shutdown on Super Friends, 8-0 and 9. Fury went for it. He risked it all, but it just wasn't enough, man. He got punished heavily for that. And with that, with the Lord coming through, 8,000 gold lead, ONIC PH wasting no moment at all. And the fact that Kirk has picked up a Sky Guardian helmet, that just means when it comes to contesting ground, they can't do much. Look at that.
Oh, Jordan, he does not have the dash. He was trying to farm a little bit, and in fact, he even put down the crystal, hoping that he will be able to jump over to the ranged median, but he got caught off guard with his pants down. But speaking of pants down, Chan is the one that caught his pants down. Brusco, yo, just give Brusco attack items, okay? This guy is taking kills, and now he's taking turrets.
I mean, if he goes for damage, that's cool, but the fact that he's going tank still, that just means he's ahead of the curve, and he can be almost as tanky as an XP laner. So two front lines, both can engage, but Brusco might get punished here.
There we go, Paquito, Raging Sandstorm on a 2-person, but that is a little bit overconfident. Monsters, he joined in from the back and wasn't able to do anything. As such, he's going to go straight down. With 4% left on the side, we do have the Feather Astro just going to be popping right out, but unfortunately Kirk is just a little bit too tanky for anyone to deal with as he survives with just a sliver. And now the rest of ONIC PH moves right on over to the Influence Rage. Half HP on the core, but maybe not half anymore as ONIC PH takes the game.